Good morning and welcome to the first ever episode of Polo on the Green. I am your host, Marcus Cameron, aka Back Nine Polo for those of you who follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Please click the like, share, and subscribe, and follow me as I go on my golf journey. Let me introduce myself, start off. I'm Marcus Cameron. I actually have a sports podcast. This is a sport as well, but I thought it'd be proper to separate golf and the other sports. You can find it under the same channel, Front Office Podcast. It'll just be a separate segment. I am a 44-year-old married man with two kids. And at this point in my life, I do get a little basketball in. Basketball is absolutely my very first love. It's the sport I fell in love with. I played it my entire life. I have lifelong friends. I started a podcast based on it. Basketball for me is everything. The only thing that comes close to basketball in my heart is this sport that we all love to play called golf. Golf is an amazing sport. It's probably the most challenging sport that I've ever played. It's one of the only sports that I think if you practice, you could still be shitty. And that's for a number of reasons. It could be, you just don't have the right swing technique. You need a coach. You're going too fast in your backswing. I mean, it's a million reasons why your golf swing is not the way that you want it to be, or you're not getting the scores that you actually want. But for me, and I think most people, golf is just a vibe. I could have a shitty day on the course. That doesn't mean I had a bad time. If I'm out there with my friends and guys that I rock with, which is mostly what I do, I don't play with people I don't know. Unless, we've met on Instagram or something like that and we want to just do a match for content purposes, things like that. I know a lot of people on TikTok. Shout out to my man TY TX. I'm trying to remember his TikTok name. TX Golf on TikTok, man. That's my guy. Very good golfer, has his own golf simulator. I'd love to play with TX one day. And there's a bunch of other people that I if time permits and I'm able to, I would love to do so. But golf definitely is a vibe. You don't have to be good at golf to enjoy golf. And I think today I just kind of want to talk about some etiquette. Hopefully I'll get some good feedback, man. Hopefully y'all check in. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment. If you want to be on the show, let me know. You can DM me on my Back Nine Polo page or YouTube, and we could set up some type of arrangement. You don't even have to be here. We could just talk golf. That's another thing about golf. Like, talking golf is just like talking basketball for me. But just getting into the etiquette of golf. The etiquette of golf. The etiquette of golf it's just different. Most courses you have to have a polo. A lot of your local courses that are a little bit more relaxed in the summertime, especially down south. I'm in South Carolina. They don't mind if you wear a t-shirt, but some golf clubs are really, really strict about it. You have to wear a polo. I believe at Edgewater up near Great Falls and Chapin in South Carolina, you got to have a polo. I think the Spur right here off of Raven Road doesn't allow you to play unless you have a polo. I know the Woodlands doesn't allow you to play unless you have a polo. You can't even go to their practice range without a polo. So clothing is a big thing with golf. Everybody likes to be fly, but me personally, I love to get fly with golf. That shit is expensive. That's why I started my own clothing line. Tees and Trees coming soon. But it is expensive to dress the way that you want to dress. Now, what I'm learning is that everything doesn't have to be name brand. That's if you're beginning golf and you're listening to this, everything that you buy does not have to be name brand. You can make it look good with just the regular shit. You don't have to actually have name brand. You got some fly shoes, get your pants off Amazon. You know what I mean? You don't have to have a Nike polo shirt. You can get a different kind of polo. Me personally, I like to have name brand stuff. So I take my time. I try to find deals. I shop off season, whatever I can. And my wife, she knows I'm an avid golfer. So, anytime Valentine's Day, birthdays, Christmas present, I'm an easy gift. You give me something with golf, I'm super happy. So, clothing, or I would say the uniform for golf, is an etiquette thing. You need to make sure that you're proper, you got the proper attire on. The second thing is rules. Rules are different for everybody. There's a lot of people who don't care which starting point they start from, whether they're starting from the tips, the ones before the tips, the middle, ladies tees, senior tees. We try to play either the one before the tips or the one before that. Generally within my golf group, we got guys that are older guys. We're not senior tee yet though. We're not senior tee old. We are older guys, but we're not senior tee old. But with that said, I don't play the tips. There's a lot of people I see, talking about playing the tips, and that's, good for you, man. But you don't get a better, you don't get a higher score for playing the tips. I mean, I don't understand what's the point of it. But as far as playing, everybody's not competitive. Some people really just go out there for that vibe. Like, they don't care. They're not even taking score. They're just hitting the ball. That's one of the only sports I've ever seen that happen too. Like, you can't go on a basketball court. You can go with your homie and just shoot jumpers and y'all not playing against each other. But if y'all playing against each other, y'all keeping score most of the time. Just most of the time you keeping score. Golf is not the same way. I can go out with 3 of my friends and we cannot take score. We're just getting through each hole. Hole 1, hole 2, hole 3. We're just getting through each hole. Now, we don't ever do that. Only time we do that is when we started off shitty and we just like, fuck it. We're going to have a couple drinks, smoke a couple joints, and just cruise through. But some people are competitive. Some people, just look for the vibe. We're pretty competitive. We actually have a chain that we give for whoever wins a particular round. We try to do like 1 or 2 tournaments a year, usually out of town somewhere. So we're pretty competitive about it, but and we only play the serious rules during those tournaments or when we're competing for the chain. Other times, your ball goes in the water, you can see the water. We'll pull it out. We're not about to count that against you. If it's during tourney time though, no, that's a drop. You can pull your ball out. That's cool, but that, it went into the hazard. That's the way it's going to count. Gimmies. Gimmies are a big deal for me because I feel, especially looking on social media, I feel a lot of people are showing scores and handicaps, and I'm like, but are you giving yourself a 3 to 4 foot gimme every time you play golf? Because if you are, that's not really a true handicap. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we playing for money or some shit like that, yeah, I don't care if it's a foot from the hole. You're going to putt it. You're going to putt it. Now, if we just chilling, okay, cool. And that's the hard part of it because it's like, how can your handicap is calculated by the rounds that you play. If you're not playing a serious round every single time and y'all just out there going and vibing and you giving yourself a bogey every time, is it really your handicap? You know what I mean? Like, so that's actually an interesting question. What is the etiquette for gimmies? I think I've heard most of it is inside the leather. I got a Scotty Cameron. That's probably 2.5 feet. It's a gimme. I've watched pro golfers miss 2.5 foot putts. So a gimme is almost really, really helping your handicap. But I'd be interested in what everybody else thinks. Do you play with gimmies or do you not play with gimmies? Let me know in the comments. Click like and subscribe. But past the gimmies and the rules, just the game of golf itself, man, it really is unmatched. Like I said, I love basketball. I love the game of basketball. There's nothing that could possibly replace it for me. I've coached it. I played it. I'm a fan. I do a podcast about it. I love basketball. But golf is something you can do forever, really. I've seen people who are 70 years old on the golf course. I've seen women. I love seeing women on the golf course that take it serious. You know what I mean? Or even the ones that's just out there to catch a good vibe. Like, that is a diverse place. That is a diverse place, and it is something you can't really put into words. You can try, I can try, but it's different for everybody. You ask this person, what's their love of golf? It's going to be different from my answer, and my answer is going to be different from the next person. But what we have in common is that we all love golf. We all love the vibe. We all benefited from it some type of way, shape, or form. I look at it as a business course / therapy meeting / good vibe, because I have really close friends that I play with and that I play golf with, that I play golf with, and we can talk about anything on the golf course, life-changing shit that's like, you can't really talk about nowhere else. I have a really good friend of mine, man. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to put his business out. But I found out his brother got killed in an incident, and it was like a month after that. He just told us on, I believe, hole 7 of a golf course that we were at. Like, we were getting ready to tee off, and he just told us about it. And it was a shocker, but it was like, I know that helped him. You know what I mean? I know that saying that, getting it off his chest, know he's been feeling, down about it and things of that nature, man. That's what golf does for people, especially for me. It's a place where you can go and you're not judged. And don't get me wrong, we've been to golf courses, and the elephant in the room is I'm a black guy, I play golf. It's not very common. It's more common now, a lot more common now. And yes, I've been to courses that have treated us with not the same respect that they treat white golfers or anybody else. But not many. I'll be honest. I go to a lot of places, man, and I don't think they see color at all, man. They just see a golfer. They just see a guy and his friends who know the rules of the course and just not trying to be disrespectful to the course. They're just out there trying to have a good time. And as long as we're paying our money, they treat us as such. And I appreciate that. The ones who don't, there's nothing I can do about that. That's the karma they got to live with. But and I think really that was it as far as golf etiquette. Well, golf courses in particular, I would say, are different. Now, me personally, I like to smoke a little Mary Jane, smoke a little Essence of the Earth while I'm on the course. That's not frowned upon, but not necessarily legal. And I definitely feel like in most states, if a starter saw me doing that, he'd tell me to put it out. So I try to be respectful and, wait till we get about 3, hole 4, something like that, real quick before a par 3, hit a little tote, put it out, keep playing golf. You know what I mean? It's outside. It really is one of the greatest sports ever created. Golf is amazing. But you just want to be, I think, just aware of where you are on the golf course as far as like which course you're at. A lot of courses have a pace of play. Pace of play is a big thing. A lot of people don't like slow players. I don't like slow players, but at the same time, I don't like anybody trying to rush me behind me either. Just because you're playing fast doesn't mean I need to speed up if I'm within the pace of play. Pace of play generally is between 4 hours, 4 hours, 15 minutes for 18 holes. If we're on pace of play, bro, just because you're in a rush doesn't mean we need to speed up. Now, what my group does is we do the I think the humane or the proper, the gentleman thing. If it's 4 of us and it's 2 guys behind us and they're playing pretty fast, we'll ask them, hey, y'all want to play ahead? That's just that's a etiquette thing. It's not a rule. It's more like an unwritten rule. If you got less guys behind me and we're playing at pace of play, but you guys have less people in your party, it just makes more sense for y'all to go ahead and move up. Now, that also depends on how many people are behind you. It's a lot of things on the golf course that you have to factor into playing golf with your crew and with your group. Like I said, man, I think that's going to be it for the first episode. I'll put more thought into it the next episode, I promise. But I just wanted to get one out here, man, especially for the people that I follow on Instagram and TikTok. Get them to chime in, man. This game of golf is so complicated, hard, relaxing, rewarding. It's all of that in one, and that's what makes it amazing. I think everybody can agree that it's just one. It's so many different things that you love about the game of golf. But I would like to say I will be doing some interviews. I'm going to pick and choose some people that I feel like are good golfers. Doesn't mean that handicap wise, just, you go play golf, you play at a certain etiquette. You can understand the difference between this and not doing that. And mostly it's going to be from social media. I'm going to try to do some virtual interviews with some people. I got a few in my mind right now as far as Instagram is concerned. And I'll be reaching out. Hopefully they'll chime in. And we can have a good conversation, man. It's your boy Back Nine Polo. It's Polo on the Green, Front Office Podcast. Peace.